Welcome back into Friday Night Live as the Bison Breakdown, joined once again by former defensive lineman Jake Cavage. Jake, this is a little bit behind the scenes here, but it's very short notice, so thank you very much for making some time for me again. I appreciate it. It's all fun to have you in here, talk a little ball.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, obviously, I'm a local guy, so I'm easy to come in at a moment's notice. So no, this has worked out perfect.
Talking a little bit about North Dakota State's homecoming win over the weekend against Towson. You were there in the building. Yep. Obviously, when you get a win in homecoming, every win means a lot, but is it a little bit more special after a homecoming victory?
Yeah, just the pageantry of college football, right? Like homecoming's a big deal, and obviously last year against South Dakota, we came up a little bit short on homecoming when you got all the alumni, all the former student athletes coming back on campus. But yeah, huge win, good win for the program. Obviously, there's no such thing as a bad win. I think we've learned that earlier in the season this year with NDSU. But yeah, no, it was fun to come out, and I think we're getting closer to seeing NDSU put a full game together, offense, defense, special teams, but there's obviously still a little something that, I think defense wish they could have a few plays back, but we're getting closer.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. You wanted to see the run game finally establish themselves. Yep. And we got our first 100-yard rusher, Marty Brown. Was it a relief kind of to see that run game get even further established for North Dakota State? Yeah,
I was super excited for Marty. Some of those runs he had, he's a different level athlete. Coach Paulset keeps talking about, we want to feature one back, and I think we might be starting to see maybe Marty Brown kind of, cement himself as that future back for NDSU. But yeah, no, like you said, just to see the Rams kind of establish the run game and what that'll do for Cam Miller. He's already thrown the ball at an exceptional rate, but just to have that run game, be able to throw play action after that, it's going to just make life so much easier for Cam.
It's kind of the second game in a row we've seen the run defense struggle a little bit. Kind of what has to happen there to kind of shore that up as we head into Valley play here?
I think there's a few things right now. Obviously, I'm not in the meeting rooms with those guys, but some communication breakdowns, just missing fits. I know Towson had a couple of interesting motions where they kind of faked like they're going to jet out and get the running back in quick. So I think we just kind of maybe got communicating too fast on the back half, which led to a couple misfits. And obviously tackling. The tackling wasn't as good as it needs to be, but I think we'll get that shored up here soon.
Speaking of running the football, Illinois State now, their first Valley game on the schedule. It's a classic Brock's back offense. They love to run. They're inside zone based. Is it kind of mirror images when you're a defensive player getting ready to go up against that? Is it kind of like going up against North Dakota State?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing I'm kind of looking forward to this week is, Illinois State's offense, they'll go fullback in the backfield, I formation under center, very similar to NDSU's offense. So I think defensively there's some comfort in that. I think, you're used to seeing that, all through spring ball, fall camp, that's familiar. So I think the defense will be a little bit more, familiar with their run game, and I look forward to, Code Green, kind of spilling power and, trying to stop the run. I know they don't have, that's not, back in my day, it was James Robinson running the ball for Illinois State.
Is that the craziest celebration you've ever seen?
That is something. Some of these dances that these offensive guys are coming up with now are a little insane, but no, that's pretty cool.
That was their running back that filled in for an injured Marcus King. He's their leading rusher so far this year. He's a big running back, 6'1". It says 205 on the roster. I think it might be a little bit more than that. Yep. When you're going up against a big running back like that, it's really the first time North Dakota State's seen that this season. What are some of the challenges there?
First thing is just to be pad level, right? You have a bigger back like that. If you meet him high in the hole, he's going to drag you for 5 yards. So I know Gio and Coach Gazer will be preaching pad level all week, and then just 11 hats to the football. You can have the biggest running back like Derrick Henry. If you get 11 guys to Derrick Henry, you're going to tackle him eventually, right? So just get guys to the ball and then pad level are two things that stick out to me when you're facing a bigger running back.
Illinois State always kind of seems like a sneaky, fun game. Everyone's kind of looking forward to that one a little bit. Where does Illinois State rank as far as Missouri Valley opponents go?
I think just historically, obviously, we played them in the national championship. What was it, 2014 or 15? One of those years with Carson Wentz. So they have a historically really good program. Coach Spack, had to bring the mustache back.
Of course,
Coach Spack. But
I love it.
No, they're just historically a really good football team. They're much like NDSU. They're going to play hard. They're going to be assignment sound. They're not going to beat themselves. So. Obviously, you think of our big-time rivals, SDSU, UND now, UNI teams. I put Illinois State kind of right in that next echelon of Missouri Valley teams. They've been down the past couple of years, but they're extremely well coached, like you said, with Coach Spack, and they're not going to beat themselves.
We'll see how North Dakota State does in Normal. Very fun town name against Illinois State. We're going to have highlights from that one coming up tomorrow. But for now, we'll be right back with more Friday Night Live right after this.